Welcome back to Crossroads. You know, if it's December in Minnesota, we're all getting ready for the big annual Steele's Family Christmas Show. And I've got my cousins, I call y'all my cousins, in here with me this morning. They need no introduction. Geraldine, Javita, JD, and of course, baby boy Billy's here.
Yes.
Where is Fred?
Fred's on a plane coming from Dallas today.
Oh,
he had a show in
okay.
Dallas, Texas last night.
And you guys work all around the country. It's so hard to get the family together, but you do it every year for the annual Christmas show.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a big deal for us. It's really the centerpiece for our careers, for all of us to finally get on that stage together and do our thing. It's amazing.
And I've seen the video from the show because I had to miss it last year. But, girl, y'all are doing it. Y'all are dancing.
Yes, sir.
Y'all like Tito and Randy Gray. Y'all got the moves. Y'all got the music.
Girl, that's it.
Now, JD, how long does it take to put it all together?
About 25 years.
That's all.
That's 25 years.
And we start actually in about October. November is when we really kick it into full gear for rehearsals, getting costumes, choreography, all of that stuff. And then hopefully we're ready by the first show.
Although there was one year we started in August because they were doing some traveling in late November, and we were just about ready to hear somebody with a Christmas song. if we just heard one more Christmas song, you know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you guys put it together and it's flawless. You've been doing this a long time, singing since you were young children.
Yes.
Yeah. It means a lot to us, though. I mean, Christmas time is not just a time to celebrate the reason for the season, but it's also about family. And we're all very close, and we love each other. And we really do enjoy being together, bringing our families together, passing that tradition on to our children as well. So it's a very reverent time for us as well. We don't play around with Christmas. It's very special.
And the show is off the hook.
Thank you.
We're very
It's different
excited.
every year.
Yeah, it is.
Every year there's something
How do you do
different.
that? Because you guys been doing this show for a while, and I know some people that say our Christmas season doesn't start until we get to the Steele's Family Christmas Show, and that's how we know the season has begun. How do you keep it different and interesting every year for the people who come annually?
Javita.
It's the challenge.
yeah.
It is the challenge. JD is constantly writing new songs. Billy and Fred are constantly rearranging new songs. Geraldine and I are working on making sure the show looks interesting, that we've got our children really involved in it. So every year we just keep pushing it, keep trying to push the envelope. And this is year 24, so it's quite the challenge. We're really excited about it.
Make it fresh.
Yes, they do. They freshen it a lot.
So what are the kids doing, Billy?
Dancing,
Everything.
singing and taking over.
It's exactly
Asking
what
for a
they're doing.
paycheck.
So they're going to sit y'all down. Y'all going to be on the
At some
front
point.
row clapping
We
at
hope.
some point.
We hope.
Cool with that. Yes.
So, I mean, we were talking to Princess Sister earlier, but this is really a family legacy that you guys have, your father and you guys, and you're passing it down to your kids. How important is that the music stay alive for the Steele family?
It's very important that it stays alive because we come from a legacy of musicians on my father's side, from my grandfather and my uncles and aunts. So we really are blessed and thankful to have inherited that genetically from them. So we just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, and that's what keeps it exciting for us.
Okay, now, speaking of excitement, what can people look forward to on the show that's coming up at the Fitzgerald Theater? Put the graphic up, Scott. Scott upstairs, our director, was down here earlier making sure everything looked good because he really likes you guys. He's probably going to be begging for a
Oh, we
ticket.
like him too.
It's Friday, December 12th and Saturday, December 13th at the Fitzgerald Theater. What can folks expect, other than some really good singing and some music, and Billy and Fred are going to
You know, as
hang
Geraldine
out?
always says, it's an event and it's an experience, and that's what we want to do. We want to draw you into our family. You're going to get a chance to be a part of our family for that night, and we look forward to it every year because we do. It's about the magic and the love. So expect to cry, laugh, jump around, want to party a little bit. We try to bring everything that you can imagine Christmas is all about, everything from sacred to secular. We're going to try and touch it.
And this beautiful black woman will be jumping like a jackrabbit.
Work it out,
That's
Steele.
worth the price of a ticket. Right there.
Now, whose idea was it for you to be jumping around? I knew it was her.
Fred, he's not here, Fred.
See, why she blaming poor
Blame
Fred on the
everything.
plane, probably in prayer, and he's getting in trouble for something he didn't even do.
Plus, we have great musicians.
Yeah.
Daryl Boudreau on percussions, Dave Barry on guitar, David Island is going to be a special guest with us this year.
First time.
And
My son,
my
Kenyari Jackson.
nephew, Kenyari Jackson on drums, and then, of course, Billy, the maestro, on keyboards.
Yeah.
So, Billy, what have you arranged or rearranged this year? Because last time y'all were here, y'all rearranged, you know, the gospel and all the stuff, and it doesn't sound the same. It sounds better than the original tune. But you know, Billy puts his little thing on now. What you got for us this year, Billy? Right, is that
Grease on it.
JD and I actually did a song called Miss You.
Yeah.
Really beautiful. It's a new song that will be in the show this year. And our children are doing some really special things. I don't want to give it all away.
Aw.
Some really special things.
Wow.
You got to come see it. It's going to be beautiful.
So how's Mama? I can't let y'all get out of here
Mama's
without
doing
checking
great.
on Mama.
She's doing great.
She introduces us in the show every year. And
Everybody's in the show.
Yeah, and it's so funny because now people come to Mom and say, we just can't wait to see what you're going to wear on stage. So Mom has become quite the celebrity.
She's got
It's
to
really
make
cool.
sure she gets it together.
Absolutely.
She gonna want to check next.
I'm going to tell her, you said that.
Okay, no, I'll send her a tape. Don't worry,
Thank
Mama
you,
gonna get a tape. Your baby boy's cutting up.
Oh, Mom loves being on stage with us. We
Now,
love having her.
I gotta tell y'all, I was so shocked because I went to the Parliament Funkadelic concert with my husband. Oh, I must tell this story. This is my favorite story to tell. And all of a sudden, you know, Parliament's doing their thing, George Clinton's out on stage, and all of a sudden I hear these real strong voices, and we're all standing up at First Avenue, can't see in front of the, you know, and all of a sudden I hear these strong voices. I'm like, that's not his backup singers. We've been listening to them all night. They just average, but these are some really good, strong voices. I look up, Javita, Fred, Geraldine, JD. I said, now, does Mama still know her babies are hanging out with George Clinton?
I know, right?
Well, you know, we did an album with George
Right,
back in the day at Paisley Park, with an album that Prince produced when we were working with Prince. Matter of fact, when you talk about family, I mean, having Tyka here, we worked on her first album.
first record.
And, you know, this city is like a family of musicians, you know, working with the Petersons, working with the McFarlanes, working with Prince and Stokely and Mint Condition. All of us started at the same time, you know, in this town. So it's a wonderful legacy of music for all of us.
Man, you guys have just worked with everybody. I mean, what's next for the Steeles? I mean, is there something that you haven't done that you got Grammy nominations?
Retirement.
You got
No. You know, retirement is not in our vocabulary. It really isn't, Sheletta. So we you know,
We are just beginning to rock.
we are. We really are.
We have lots
And
of
there's
things
so
to
much
do.
more to do. I mean, we all do so much individually. Javita is singing with the Detroit, in fact, recording with the Detroit Symphony Orchestra. JD is recording another song for, with Christian McBride. He's working on a show with that. Billy is also the associate director of the Sounds of Blackness. You know, I mean, we could just go on and on and on. So we do so much individually. When we finally come together, you know, it's like we're joined at the hip, much to his chagrin.
No, it's
But,
beautiful.
yeah, we're joined at the hip.
He loves us very much.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you get with all these people, Billy's with the Sounds of Blackness, you know, Fred's in the air somewhere. You guys are all over, not just the country, all over the world.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and then you come back to your family. You know, how does that...
Roots. We have roots, and I think that's imperative, you know. The older I get, the more important I realize it is. And with our children, we're trying to do the same thing. I have a son who recently signed with a label and is now really in the business like that and passionate. But I keep telling him, your roots are critical. Make sure you stay focused, stay grounded. And so being a part of this show helps him to do that. He gets to see, okay, this is what we have to do, and that prayer is the center, and that we keep God in our lives, and the music stays alive. We'll be fine.
You're saying